You! It's Renegade Culture in the house.
Listen, it's hotter than fish grease up in this motherfucker right now.
Oh, I hear that, man. Yo, you got a Black Lives Matter shirt. I never thought I'd see the day, son. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations, you represent your new org.
Apparently your goggles are fucked up. BLM stands for Black Liberation Movement. Because we already know black lives don't fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? But since Kamala want to go there,
what's wrong, man?
Community Movement Builders is now sponsored by Black Lives Matter.
I'm going to take that Black Lives Matter money and put it into the community.
Yes,
that's what I'm gonna do.
Yes, that's all right. That's all right. Anyway, as we were saying before we got this shit started, my name is Kalonji Jabba. I'm in the building.
Kamala K. Franklin, how y'all doing?
Alongside
the ear doctor. What's good?
What's going on, ear doctor? How you doing?
Everything's good, man. It's another day, another Thursday. I'm ready to get it.
Anyway, yeah. So
I was gonna say,
we happy to see you.
I'm not happy to see you.
Oh, damn.
Probably
you got a stain on your shirt, though. Let me just let you know.
That's part of his outfit.
No, it's way up. It's like where your gut is. You know what I mean?
He's breastfeeding.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
That,
anyway.
true.
The views and opinions of these individuals at Renegade Culture may not necessarily be the views of Kalonji Jama and management. However,
let's just go.
We still let these.
I saw you was on vacation, bro. Just to, you know what I'm saying? You was at the beach again.
I was.
I saw the white socks and shit in the sand.
Yeah.
So I knew it was you. Tim's in the socks and sand. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway, I'm surrounded by idiots. This is how America works. But we live and direct, man. I'm happy to be here today.
Bro, no, we doing
episode
good.
What, 81?
Yep, episode 81 on Renegade Culture.
Your favorite year? It's like when you voted for Ronald Reagan.
Oh, you going back again? Boom, boom.
Boom. Anyway, yeah. So
classic joke.
A lot of shit went on this week since last.
Every week is a new week for new shit to be going on. You know what I'm saying?
Every week is always.
We're gonna get into a lot of it. We got some. I'm not gonna mention some things because they're just too crazy. So we're gonna say that for the What the Fuck segment.
Okay.
But one thing I will mention is that Donald Trump was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, and we're gonna have to get into that because that's some crazy shit. Well, some Chinese man was put up as a chief in Ghana.
Hold it. You said Donald Trump and a Chinese man in the same damn.
Yeah, well, you know,
sound kind of racist.
If it's Donald Trump, it is racist. So,
okay.
So we're gonna get into that later on. But the big thing we got tonight is we have a special guest on.
We have a special guest.
We have a sister. Her name is Adia Winfrey, and
Dr. Adia Winfrey.
Dr. Adia. We got two doctors in the house.
Adia.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Got me saying Adia.
We got the ear doctor.
Ear doctor. We got
doctor.
Oh, wait a minute. It's a sister Adia. All right, I'm gonna get it right.
Adia, not Adia, motherfucker.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah.
Like a deer park.
Okay, and she is running for Congress, 3rd District in Alabama.
Okay.
So she's gonna come on, talk about her race, talk about some politics, she's gonna be here for the other segment. We're gonna talk about what's going on in the world. So we got a good show for you tonight on Renegade Culture.
Also, Robert Cool Bell, R.I.P. Cool in the Gang. Made his transition. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to Robert Cool Bell. The whole Cool in the Gang family, you know what I mean? They've been rocking since the 60s.
Name me a Cool in the Gang song.
Celebration time.
Come on.
Now you name one, motherfucker.
Get down on it.
Get down on it.
You gotta help him and shit. He don't even know it's your name.
I do know Get Down on It.
Name me a Cool in the Gang
There's
song.
like that.
Jungle Boogie. Don't get me started. You know
Anyway, fuck all that. But anyway, rest in peace. Rest in power, rise in power. A couple other people died. I'm not gonna mention.
No.
But anyway, listen to Renegade Culture. We can say fuck the law.
Fuck the police.
We can have politicians on here. Hip hop artists.
We have them all.
We can have hip hop artists who meet with politicians.
Nope.
We do the whole motherfucking thing.
That's
here
true.
Renegade Culture.
Yep.
That's what the fuck we do. Cool. Also, shout out to Minister Server. He's in the building.
Minister Server.
He made his way back.
Right, former co-host.
Former co-host.
He made it one time.
Now it's saying he's a former co-host.
Former co-host.
Now in episode 76.
Oh, damn, no.
Someone named
All I said was that the chair
happened to say.
It seemed a little wider than it did before. That's all I said.
Come in.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I said.
I told Server that, and Server said that's what happened when a man sits in the boy chair. Now, I said, you had to go there, Server.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
That's what he said?
That's the man said.
That's what he said. I like your haircut, nigga. Yo, Renegade Culture, we're going to be right back.
Yeah.
Box locks.
Yeah, I rap like I'm trying to pay my mama's rent, my grandmama's rent, both my baby mama's rent. I'm rap like I'm in the hood, the drama ain't spent, and hate mails constantly getting said. Rap like I'm bent even when I'm sober. You rap like a civilian, I rap like a soldier. Roll over, I rap like that new H2. I rap like the whole world know me, and homie, who are you? I rap like 50 before the deal. I rap like my publishing deal ain't worth a meal. I rap like I never got signed. I rap like I'm locked away in jail and I'm straight confined. I rap like I shut down the booth. I rap like an old dude missing a tooth, trying to get that dollar. Rap like I'm bouncing an Impala. I'm rapping like I'm rapping for dollars. Holla, holla.
What's happening? Renegade Culture's in the building.
Yo, we back.
Yes, it's a wonderful day in the neighborhood.
Okay, Mr. Rogers. You know what I'm saying? You go.
See,
you go,
man,
do yours,
see.
man.
See, this was gonna be a serious show today because of the fact
was it?
Probably not.
Okay.
But anyway, we're happy to be here today. We have, as usual, every now and then we bring in a congressperson or someone running for Congress.
That's right. That's
because
right.
of the fact that we support electoral politics sometimes.
Sometimes.
We gotta fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of clowns out there running for office. I'm not gonna name no names tonight. I'm not gonna say Kwanzaa Hall. I'm not gonna say.
You can say some more already. You can say Keisha Lance Bottoms. You can say Kemp, Trump, Biden, Harris.
Biden,
There's a lot of clowns.
Harris.
They're all clowns.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but we got somebody here tonight that's not a clown. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Okay,
The sister.
cool.
And say your first name so I don't mess it up.
Adia.
Adia Winfrey from Alabama.
Dr. Adia Winfrey.
Dr. Adia Winfrey.
Yes.
And she's running again for Congress, 3rd Congressional District in Alabama.
That's right.
And we want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
We wanted to have you on in particular because our understanding of your track record is that you're not just some regular old candidate, but you got a history in the community, doing work with youth, doing things around hip hop. And so we thought it was important just to highlight a candidacy that's done all that kind of stuff. So we want to thank you so much for coming on our show.
And we want to point out that Dr. Adia knew that Renegade Culture was so goddamn dope that she came all the way from Alabama to
Facts.
sit with us. So all y'all cats that be telling us, can we Zoom in? Don't fuck with us. Anyway, Dr. Adia, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Happy to be here. It's an honor.
Thank you. Thank you.
No doubt.
So tell us a little bit about the 3rd Congressional District and why you decided to run.
So the 3rd Congressional District has been underrepresented by the person who is currently in Congress. It's a district that is diverse in that we have several black colleges, we have a lot of farms and rural areas, but we also have industry there. But we just need somebody who is progressive, somebody that wants to bring some new energy and is representing for a younger crowd. So I bring all that.
So we know that you have a background in hip hop, you know, hip hop culture. What was the what catapulted you into the whole electoral politics scene?
So I've been doing some organizing really just throughout my life. I have a history of activism back to my teenage years when it really wasn't cool in the 90s. And that kind of segued into what I did with hip hop and therapy. And then when I moved to Alabama, I just started doing work that was normal in Atlanta, like working with kids and helping them read and getting to poetry, but that became very revolutionary and looked down upon in Alabama and got me some attention I wasn't really looking for as far as just in the media, and that got some of the more established political folks to have me working with Doug Jones when he ran for office in 2017. And I helped to flip my county blue with getting Doug Jones to win, and that pretty much opened up the door for my political run.
Now you mentioned before, when you said like there's folks who didn't like it, you had said it before a little bit earlier, that you were doing a program at the library at one point, and then somebody called the police on you just doing a simple program. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened? Yeah,
so I have been partnering with the library here in Atlanta, the DeKalb County Public Library, and wanted to do something similar in Alabama. And so I booked the room and, you know, was ready to go with the event. And the head librarian was suspicious of me. What is this black woman doing with kids and hip hop and poetry? Canceled the event, contacted the police to figure out who I was. And another time when I was at the library and kind of called them out on some questionable behavior, they literally called 911 and said that they were threatened by me. Now, I didn't know this happened. I had moved to another wing of the library, and I was told that the only reason why the police didn't question me is because they didn't know I was still there. So, yeah, I really was just trying to live life and was really kind of thrown into the political world in this vein out there.
So when you said they felt threatened, did you come up in there with like AR-15? Machete or some shit?
Look, I'm a mom of 4, and I was there with my babies.
Was there with your baby? Were they strapped?
Nah.
Nope.
I'm just trying to figure out.
Strap with a book.
We got to play crackers advocate sometimes. We got, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes
You brought your babies to the library. We good.
How dare you?
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
No one
of
mess with you.
Right.
How dare you have black children read books? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So you were a threat because you were black in Alabama.
Yep.
And Alabama has a history of being threatened by black folks.
That's, I mean, same as all the South. In fact, same as all America, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, so basically, we go from like the Bull Connor days to the Dr. Adia days. What's that looking like 2020? What's Alabama politics looking like right now?
You know what? It's looking real good, to be honest. We have a lot of foot soldiers right now. We have a whole new generation where we've come up under those who we watch in the black and white films, you know, the Selma days and what we saw, you know, what Bull Connor was doing. So we came up underneath those foot soldiers. And so we've learned and we've sat at their feet. And so now we're ready to take what they taught us, but then our modern day, you know, weapons, our hip hop, our social media, and just taking it to another level. And then when you factor into politics with that, that just opens up the door to everything. So.
But white folks are still white folks in Alabama.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
For the most part,
Get confused and shit, think white folks have advanced or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So is Rachel Dolezal and all them folks down there with you?
Look, nah.
That's your girl? She not rep?
Nah.
Okay.
Okay. We thought she was a campaign manager. I mean, not
That's
that
hard,
hard, man.
man.
Just joking.
Anyway, so okay, so here it is with 2020. What's your platform? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't fuck with too many politicians.
I know.
You know what I mean? So,
it's an honor to be here, for real.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie.
So help us help you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
What's the platform? You ain't just saying I'm running, I'm black, Black Lives Matter, whoop, me too, have a nice day.
Right. Yeah, so the platform, you know, I love acronyms and keeping it hip hop. So the platform is AEIOU. The A stands for agriculture. Agriculture is our #1 industry in Alabama, but the average age of a farmer is about 59 years old, and the makeup of the farmers are very much white. And so we need to expand what that looks like. I really believe that we can use agriculture in the hood. You know, we have a lot of rural spaces, a lot of fertile ground that we could be utilizing. And so bringing resources to allow communities to do this, give the youth something to do, you know, remove the idea of a food desert. So that's the agriculture. Education. Definitely, we need to do more with career tech. You know, we do have some great examples of career tech with our high schools, but that needs to be the norm. We also need to do more with college readiness, but also workforce development for the young adults and even the middle-aged folks. Like, we need to get more skills and have funding behind that. The I within my platform stands for innovation. It's time to innovate how we make money in our state, really in our nation. We can innovate like manufacturing, what that looks like. You know, we talk about climate change. That really is an opportunity for new jobs, you know, new skills and just a new way to make money. The O within my platform is opportunity. We need to find new opportunities with healthcare, opportunities for people who have great ideas. Like, one thing I say about country folks, you know, they are innovative. They have wonderful skills that have been passed down, but they can't really capitalize on it because the resource is not there. So that's why I want to bring with the opportunity, and the U stands for unity. You know, as much as, you know, Alabama, when you hear it, you think of like all racist white people. And as crazy as it sounds, those are some of the nicest, sweetest people you ever want to meet. I'm for real. It sounds crazy. I'm saying, you got to come to the country to feel what I'm saying. But we have more in common than we have difference. And I was listening to one of y'all's past episodes talking about Fred Hampton, and just like people in that day, really the real revolutionary people really saw how we were more similar, and really how the people in power pit us against each other. Like, it's really, you know, those elitists that it don't matter one way or the other what happens at the bottom. Like, they win when we attack each other. So helping people to understand, you know, yeah, we got our differences. Yeah, we're not going to be all the way on the same page, but finding where the similarities are and making it work for all of us. Speaking
of Alabama and Alabama politics, shout out to the Black Panther Party out of Lowndes County, Alabama.
Yes.
And also our main man, Imam Jamil Alameen, formerly known as H-Rap Brown, along with Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture, who helped to really organize down there in Lowndes County. A lot of those brothers and sisters put in work, and that's where the Black Panther Party we know of got its whole idea, ideology,
slogan, the logo,
the whole nine. So many of us look at Alabama as a revolutionary area, and we think that it's bold to organize in places like Alabama, and Mississippi, and places like that. Folks talk about Dr. King. Dr. King really got most of his, he really set it off in places like Birmingham and like I said, Mississippi and DC. You don't hear too much about what he did in Atlanta because Atlanta is kind of the true organizational desert. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta's always been, we'll accept your civil rights, but you niggas ain't gonna really bust a Concord grape in the fruit fight. So we commend you for being brave enough to say, look, I'm running for office in Alabama. I know you're security tight because if I was running for office in Alabama, you know what I mean? I got to have the motherfuckers with me.
You got to go talk to those rural white folks that might be so nice and or might not be so nice.
Now they nice at night too? They come with them lovely white sheets. Oh, okay, they nice in the daytime.
Right.
At night they got some lovely ropes and
that's a sundown state.
That's a sundown state. It's still a sundown state.
Yeah, like don't get it twisted, you still a nigga. You heard what JC said. Okay, so what do we expect? I mean, you taught Naka his vials and shit, the ear doctor, because he didn't know what the fuck. He like, hey,
I owe you.
Sometimes why? You been singing and shit, he know what the fuck. The youth in your district.
Yes.
How are they looking at it? What's the view? Are they happy to see a young black woman running, or what's the deal?
When they know I'm there, they're happy, and that's the thing. It's really right now about amplifying the campaign, really getting the word out. To be quite honest, and I was on the phone with my team, we was piped up on the phone because, you know, the reality that you see when you're on this side of politics is how much it really was not designed for us. You know what I mean? And so there is so much more that the establishment could do to help me, which is really, in the end, would help them. But because the system was not designed for someone like me, it's safer for them to just fall back. That's so at this point, we are using our hip hop tactics. You know, we are using our music, using our spaces. We're going to be going to radio now within the next couple of weeks, just to let the youth know that I am out here. So when they find out about it, they turned up. But that's really just us in the grassroots way of getting it done. So as much as we can infuse hip hop, I told my team, I said, y'all know it's real when the elders are like, you need to start using that rap to get the kids out. You know, usually they're like, no to rap, no to hip hop. But even they understand that, you know, we are at a point where we must engage the youth. So when they know about it and we're able to get to them, they turn up.
No doubt. You listen to Renegade Culture. You check us out on Renegade Culture TV. You know what I mean? We're here with Dr. Adia McClellan Winfrey.
Come on now.
Oh,
yeah. Come on now.
It took a while to get it out, but he did get it out.
I got my shit off.
You know what I'm saying?
Be careful. I wasn't like my man calling all kinds of things. Dr. Adia, Dr. this.
I see my man went to the bathroom though and he put on his FTP medallion.
That's right. Shout out to the FTP movement. Don't get it fucked up. You know what it is. And tonight, FTP is for the politicians. You know what I mean? It's in this building. You know what I mean? Now when we leave here,
I'm gonna give you credit for that.
Uncle Elijah Jamachenko, I'm raw.
Not too much credit.
Now wire your jaw. Anyway, Renegade Culture, we'll be right back,
y'all.
King of the courtyard, call me A like report card. I give a fuck about these cameras like porn stars. You think I flew into London the way I throw heat like Heathrow? I'm in the hood on a Friday and I'm looking for Debo. So many bars got them screaming for the CO. I take a photo with my peepo. 1,000 likes on the gram, that's a kilo. So serious, playing with the beat though. Usual suspect, Scully with a Pico. World premiere, I run the globe and that's primo. You see me and you see show.
What's happening, it's Renegade Culture?
Yo, we back.
Oh.
And we black. Yo, you wanna do the theme song for Renegade Culture?
No.
You wanna do the theme song?
Nobody
Ready?
wants to do the
theme song. The R, the E, the N, the E, the G, the E,
the D, the E.
It's Renegade. Word up. Renegade Culture. Word up. My man Kalanji loves that shit.
See, Dr. Deer, now you're gonna make me say forget the politicians.
No, don't do it there.
Okay,
Come on now.
rolling with these.
We got the moderate Kalanji in the house. He's all for
distinguished derelicts. Anyway, so Renegade Culture.
Yeah, man.
Check us out, renegadeculture.org.
That's right.
Check us out on SoundCloud, Apple.
What else? What else we on?
Spotify.
Renegadeculture.org.
I think I said that.
You did? I didn't hear it. Nobody pays
Google
attention.
Play.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
Playback
TV. And check us out on Playback,
Playback
TV.
TV.
On YouTube. We gotta, you know, I usually don't build other people's platforms. These motherfuckers got like 3 people following YouTube. Follow Playback TV on YouTube, please.
We gotta help them out.
Everybody going to my page like, yo, I didn't see the thing. I said, go to Playback TV.
Everybody going to your page.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, 'cause I'm fly. But anyway, like, what the fuck is that? I said, I don't know.
You got a couple of likes because Killer Mike mentioned them and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
That was really lame.
Yeah, that's about what's going on in the world. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on in the world?
That's going on in the world.
Okay.
So this election is coming up soon.
Okay.
Trump is getting his white supremacy on even more than ever. So
Trump.
Trump. You know him.
I'm so sick of hearing Trump's name. It's like what we're gonna have to do here at Renegade Culture
is what?
We're gonna start a fucking don't say Trump.
Oh hell no, we're not.
At Renegade Culture.
Oh hell no,
we gotta come up with a fucking another name for this motherfucker.
What? Dumb Donald?
Fucking Garfield. Anybody? Call him something. But god damn.
Well, we can call him the white supremacist in chief right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So so he's going around challenging, and again we want to Biden is nobody's hero to be honest. But he's going around trying to line up his white supremacist troops by going to these, he's going around to different places, telling folks, that the protesters and so forth, they really don't matter. And it's really about sort of keeping the American way going and all that kind of stuff. So he's really loading up in his final, 6-7 weeks we got until the election. He's trying to get all his ducks in a row because folks think he's still got a chance if he can bring out his constituency.
Well, I mean, he does have a chance because America is still racist to the core. Black folks are still ignorant as fuck. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of cases, you still have folks who are rallying around white supremacy, who think that, well, he's a businessman and America has to, and America, shut the fuck up. Anyway, so people are confused.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have Lion Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Kamala the cop?
Yeah, and it's like, they have people actually thinking they're thinking. And as we know, that's not the case. We know that it's all game. And right now, I think the main thing we should be doing is gearing up for Armageddon. Just fucking get yourself in order. Grow your food, agriculture.
Well, that is the thing that people are talking about. They're saying even if it looks like he's going to lose, or with the early returns because of mail-in voting, the expectation is that he's going to declare victory early, right? So that he's going to get everything confused. And so if mail-in voting comes in later on and it shows that he's way behind and he's losing, he's going to say the fix was in, something was happening. So he's trying to sow that kind of confusion to make sure that there's no clearness in terms of whoever the victor might be.
Right. That's his game. That's why, at the end of the day, I'm telling folks, there's going to be no perfect candidate. I'm rocking with the Biden ticket just on the strength that we got 2 people to choose from, and Trump is a problem. And I mean, not even just him, like you said, it's his followers, it's the message that comes if he wins. Now, I feel like if he loses, it's still a problem. We don't know what them folk gonna do. Just to be honest, we don't know what he's gonna do either, but the message that will be sent if he gets enough votes at the end of the night is a problem. It's almost like Biden them gotta win at the end of the night. It can't come down to mail-in. That's how,
So, me playing crackers advocate, right? And I get the whole Biden ticket thing, because damn everybody I know, they're saying that because of the fact that, Trump is he's the big bad wolf. You know what I'm saying? Selling wolf tickets. He's somewhat scary.
The overt white supremacist versus the subvert.
Right. So then we have Biden and we have Kamala, who also have a track record of enslavement, right?
Yeah.
So it's like we're trying to decide if we want to get burned by fire or hot water. Either way, we're gonna get cooked. So at the end of the day, what do you suggest for? Let's say that this Biden ticket pops off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we already know that regardless of who pops off, we pretty much guaranteeing that white America is going to be dissatisfied as a whole, and they're going to respond. I just saw something a few days ago with some white folks running up on some Black Lives Matter folks and beating them down, so on and so forth. Clearly, they ran up on the right black folks because of the fact that I'm sorry, white folks, please don't try me. I ain't Mr. Tough Guy, but it is against everything I stand for to lose to one of you motherfuckers. So understand that.
What's happening in the streets is that it's sort of, maybe not the first time, but the first in recent history where there's actual political warfare in the streets within American politics during an actual election, right? You got the Trump dude who's shooting protesters. You got one of the an anarchist person who I believe was protecting himself, but shot a Trump person. And this is the kind of thing that's happening now. And Trump again is saying, you know, well, fuck the leftists if the leftist gets killed. But the right-wing dude, he was an American hero, right? So you got this kind of this atmosphere that's coming in, because I think you're exactly right that I think they're setting this up for if not open warfare, like this clandestine, folks are in the street, no matter who wins, because the right-wing white folks, they are not going to, they feel like they're losing again, their country and all that bullshit. So they're going to be ready for action anyway. So I think there's a lot going on here that's not about the electoral politics scene like directly, right, but a lot about the sort of the demographic shifts and how that's making like these white folks in particular angst. And you know, like you say, you know, white folks have always been prepared to battle. Mm-hmm. It's us as a people in mass who have not been prepared to sort of go to the mat for our own rights and liberties and so forth. So that presents a problem.
So what do you say to your constituents, like, you know, on knowing the odds, mm-hmm, and mm-hmm, you stepping inside of the arena saying, look, I'm going to, I feel like I can make change, I can make a difference. What do you say to folks on the local level?
So what I say is that this is where organizing continues. Like, no matter who gets in, like especially if Biden and win, like this is the time to organize. This is the time to get clear on what it is that we want and make demands, and not even just make demands, but collectively work together to create what it is that we want. You know what I mean? Like, what is it that we actually want? What are we trying to build? What are we trying to do? And how can we use the system to work for us, whether it's programs, whether it's policy, like what is it that we want? And so that falls on us. Like, no matter who is in office, to be quite honest, they're gonna get what it is for their people. If we're not asking for nothing and we're not clear about what it is that we want, the tangible things that we're looking for, we're gonna continue to get nothing. And they're gonna use us for our votes like they do. Mm-hmm. They're gonna depend on us, especially black women, to do all the heavy lifting, to be their mules, but when we need something, they're not gonna be there for us. Mm-hmm. But it's on us to start making demands and getting really strategic and not waiting until, you know, the election year. We got stuck with what we got because people didn't do what they needed to in the primary. Mm-hmm. Biden won, you know, after, I mean, I guess a short primary season, but there were a lot of candidates to choose from, but we didn't really get behind anybody, you know, and make nothing shake.
Yeah, no, we got behind, well, black folks got behind Biden because
a certain segment of black folks, and that's the other thing, kind of the older black
But those are the ones who went to vote.
At the time.
Older black folks.
They did.
And they did, and it was obviously based on the Obama legacy,
it
right?
But not only that, it was also a split because, I mean, let's not forget, you had Kamala Harris, you had, what's your boy name?
Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren.
From Jersey.
Yeah, crooked face.
Booker.
Yeah, Cory Booker.
Crooked Booker.
Yeah, Crooked Booker. And you had so many folks, just like with the whole Atlanta race, you had so many black folks to choose from, you had so many folks who split the vote.
Well, no. I'm gonna do the political. I'm gonna push back. We're gonna push back.
We'll push back.
That's what the white folks like to say in the meetings when they disagree with somebody. It's like, I'm gonna push back. So there wasn't no split in the vote.
They don't say that shit to me.
They don't say that shit. There wasn't no
push their motherfucking
the split in the vote was that to be honest, black folks did not support Kamala Harris or Cory Booker.
That's true.
Right? Black folks waited, like when the primaries turned to the South, particularly like South Carolina,
that's what it was.
and the black politicians like Coburn and so forth came out and said, you know, this is Biden, he's our man, whatever. It's the black vote that turned that around and gave Biden the actual victory over Bernie Sanders and or Elizabeth Warren. So black folks believe that because he was Obama's sidekick, no matter what he's done in the past, I don't even think we're looking at his policies, right? Everything around.
You look at Obama's policies.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's not even about the policies.
That criminal motherfucker.
He is close to Obama, and so therefore the light is cast on him for now. And that's why I agree with what you said in the sense of.
And that's a generational thing, too. That's like the older black people, exactly what you said. Oh, he was with Obama, and I'm never going against Obama. You know, the older black folk, which, you know, I try to look at from their side and respect because what they saw in their lifetime, I'll never, you know, I can't, you know, relate to that. Right. So, but the younger black folks that I talk to, especially in the South, they were not feeling Biden at all. Like, he is far from progressive. The things that we really want to see, he was not about. But a lot of younger black people weren't going to the polls neither. And also we haven't been really trying to understand how politics works. You know what I mean? Like now that I'm on this side of politics, I see how these games get played. You know what I'm saying? It's like a whole side that we are completely in the dark about, but at the same time, the system relies on what we do. So for example, Trump went winning in 2016, even though he had 2 million some less votes than Hillary Clinton. The Electoral College gave him the victory in Wisconsin, where black people didn't turn out. You know what I'm saying? In Pennsylvania, where hundreds of thousands of black people didn't turn out. So it's like, if we don't turn out, somebody wins. If we do turn out, somebody wins. Because Biden most definitely needs black people to turn out, or it's over with for him.
But I think part of that problem is, even back in 2016, Hillary was such a poor candidate that she inspired no interest from black people.
Exactly.
She just thought she deserved it.
That's it.
And in some ways, Biden is acting like he deserves it, as he tries to tell us, you ain't black if you don't vote for him, right? So I think part of the problem is that, you know, one, we got to organize outside of these political institutions, right? The electoral institutions. We got to organize, like you said, to figure out and to demand certain things, not only from the system, but of ourselves.
That's right.
So what are we demanding? What are we going to do in our community? Right. But with that, we got to organize to say, you know, just because you some Democrat, it don't mean you got my interest at heart.
Right.
And I would rather sometimes, if we were organized people, I don't care about I wouldn't care about the elected officials, particularly on high at the federal level, because I don't think their policy is going to make that huge a difference. I know people are really stressed out about the Trump thing, but I'm really like, you know what? Until we build these organizational apparatuses at a local and then a national basis, we're always going to be subject to somebody else's whim around what we need from them in order to make our lives better. We got to take some control and power back so that we can control what's happening, and then we can figure out who's making the best claims to want to help us. And even more importantly, we can do like what you're doing, folks who are getting raised from the community, right? Who are from our community, who have our politics, are running for these offices. And so we have that trust automatically in them because we know that they have our best interests at heart, right? And we can talk to them about it.
What's your thoughts on building a third party?
That's interesting. I was just on a podcast last night with other black women who are either currently...
you was on a podcast last night?
I was.
Was it as dope as Renegade Culture?
It wasn't. It
Okay.
wasn't.
Oh, we need to know.
It wasn't.
Don't get it fucked up.
I invited myself, but I can't front it.
Okay.
It wasn't.
All right.
You know, but what was cool, it was like other black women who were either currently running or ran like in the last election cycle. And I mean, the consensus at the end of the day was just like, man, you know, because we've seen it from the other side, and we just like, man, we getting used. Like, even it was black women that was like calling in or whatever, who actually had won. Like, they are currently elected to these different positions, and they were just like, yo, it don't get no better even if you win, because then you're in this box, in this bubble, and they expect you to be perfect. Like, you don't get no freshman year, you know, making mistakes and all that kind of stuff. And we said, well, what would it look like if we use our collective power for us? Like, what would that look like? And we actually talked about that. But I mean, that would take a lot of organizing and just a lot of clarity on what it is that we're doing.
No, you're right. Because then, and you know, quickly, I know we were about to go to break, and then they cut us out, and we come out with some radical policies and ideas. Then they say, you can't get this job or that job, or we're going to isolate you. Well, let's talk more about that when there's that kind of stuff when we get back. We Renegade Culture. We're going to be right back.
Black.
Run, world beast eating flesh from your own sons. World peace, good grief, I just want some. So can I get it? This is my life, can I live it? Can I live it? Unaware of who you dealing with the dopest dealership, performing diligence, skilling with a frying pan. And if somebody said I wasn't, they was lying, man. Flow as hard as iron, man, and I ain't lying, man. Spell dog backwards, and what do you get? A powerful lunatic, more powerful mover hits. I did spit till your crown big, I'm that jig. Yo.
Oh yes, Renegade Culture in the building.
Yo, we back on the air.
I'd like to shout out my co-host, Kamala Franklin.
Oh, here we go.
And also our colleague, Dr. Ear Doctor.
The weird doctor, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, two of the silliest sons of bitches I ever run across in all my days. But I'd like to say it's a pleasure to work with you all. When I ain't got absolutely shit else to do in the whole goddamn world.
You don't.
I come to Renegade
definitely
Culture.
don't.
Anyway, we're here with Dr. Adia McClellan Winfrey.
Thank you, sis. Thank
And
you,
she's
sis.
just schooling these folks on electoral politics.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? The ear doctor didn't know shit about nothing. He's like,
I don't.
We got a real doctor and an ear doctor.
Disrespectful.
You just do that shit on. He's like, what am I? A doctor.
Yeah, he doctored like Dr. Dre.
You know what I'm saying?
Fat one. But anyway, listen. So we were talking about Trump the Chump.
Yep.
And during the break, we happened to talk about the fact that he's been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize.
No, wait a minute now. Before we got to that, we wanted to talk a little bit about hip-hop and electoral politics.
Yeah.
Okay? Hip-hop and electoral politics. I'm sorry, I jumped the gun.
Yeah, you did.
You did.
You don't
Did
read
you
your
ever
notes.
cut me off for getting your
You don't read your goddamn notes. You know what I'm saying?
Goddamn life.
No, we just wanted to talk a little bit because you have a background in doing hip-hop work and now you're doing this electoral policy stuff.
Yes.
So how do you see the two merging? How do you think hip-hop can help elected officials like yourself and even just bring power to our larger community?
Yeah, when you think about like the golden age of hip hop and when it was really like the stepchild of the world, it was political. You know, if you came up in the 80s and the 90s, you know, Fight the Power and really what Pac was on when he was living was all political. And so I think now this is just like the next level of it. So let's use what we already have and use it to organize. Because now we grown. You know, even the young ones who, you know, came with the new hip hop, they're grown now. So let's start using this energy and this knowledge and this money that we have, this capital, to influence politics. And that's how I see it really being an influence. It's a mobilization tool and it's an education tool.
Random question. Are there any other hip hop influentials that you would like to see run for office? Or are there any ones that you'd like to say shut the fuck up and don't say nothing?
Look, listen. I'll say this. If anybody sees an area in their community or just in society where they feel like they could make a difference, I would challenge them to run or at least engage in politics in some kind of way. So I'm not gonna name names or, you know, nothing like that. But I would say that if you see something in your community, don't hold yourself back. A lot of times we feel like, who am I to do X, Y, Z? You know, that kind of the first time I jumped in politics, I'm like, I'm just a working mom, you know, out here trying to do my thing. Who am I trying to run, but who am I not to run? You know, it's like I'm the one that needs to be out here doing it. And so I would say the same thing, especially anybody in the culture. We see and understand a lot that really is happening in the real world. So nobody better than hip hop to be on the ballot.
I remember like about 15 years ago, like in New Jersey, they did a hip hop convention, right? With Rosa Clemente, a man, who?
Well, they did one with Daruba as well.
Daruba, my man, Minister Server, Baya Adolfo, and they were trying to do exactly that. Like they were trying to bring the energy of like not only the hip hop artists, hip hop fans, the culture to the larger arena of electoral politics. And for a while, it had some weight behind it. So I mean, I think that, you know, bringing something like that back could be really good.
Now, don't you think they need a little bit more experience, as in politics, even because it seems like from Ronald Reagan, just because you're popular, then it's now time to elect this person.
I mean, Trump ain't got no fucking experience.
Exactly.
That's what I'm not saying that they should run for office. Yeah. Let me be clear.
Right.
Yeah. I think somebody should run for office if they have seriously studied some issues. They're interested in doing some good work for their community. But I think, you know, I mean, you can't stop anybody, but I think, you know, there should be some prerequisites that people really consider, as opposed to thinking of it as like a career move or a way to gain attention. I mean, I have a problem with that. I'm not saying people shouldn't talk about anything they want to talk about, but I ain't voting for somebody just because they made some tracks that I like. You know what I mean?
you got Q meeting with Biden, you got Killer Mike meeting with Kemp, so you got different hip hop artists meeting with these politicians. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, you do. I don't know what they're talking about either, but you do have that kind of stuff happening. You know, and I think it's important that, you know, again, these politicians need to be held accountable. So we need to figure out how we do that, particularly around a community dynamic of like, we have a platform and we have demands and we have things that we're saying we want this or we want that. We should not just meet with folks just to meet with them or because it gets us a higher profile, because I think that does damage both to the person meeting with them and the only thing it does for the elected official is give them a little bit of dap that they wouldn't have got otherwise. So I'm not down with that part.
Yeah, so I would say to the listeners, to the viewers, be on the lookout for the Block Party Political Action Club. You know what I'm saying? Folks like Minister Server, Kamala, myself, and a number of other different folks, Cynthia McKinney, and a number of other folks who will be pushing towards this whole third-party system. I think that it's high time that we move beyond these particular choices that are really not choices. You know, so we need to really have a more grassroots approach. Big up to some of the hip-hop artists who have ran for office. You had Scarface,
Yes.
What's my man name? Willie D ran for office down in Houston. I think Luke ran for office a few years ago. Campbell in Miami. Kevin Powell, you know what I'm saying? You mentioned Rosa, who is somewhat hip-hop-ish, and you know, so many other folks. But the thing is, when we talk about, the one thing I don't like about the U.S., as far as U.S. politics, it's a whole lot I don't like about the U.S. One of the things that I can't stand is that folks in the United States don't take politics serious. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can go damn anywhere in the world and you get your fucking head chopped off your back if you think that you're gonna come fucking somebody's lives up. And that's the thing. The accountability factor for politicians in America, particularly black politicians, the bar hasn't been set enough or raised enough where they understand that there are consequences. We have to let these politicians know, and I'm saying this in front of a politician, that if you're going to stand up in front of our people and represent, you have to know that you're representing our ancestors.
That's right.
You are a representation of our family, our extended family, our race. And you have to be able to dribble that ball properly. You got to take that shit full court. If not, sit the fuck down. Because of the fact that there will come a time, and I put my soul on it, as your man Pac would say, there will come a time that there will be consequences and repercussions. I don't give a fuck who like it and who don't like it. That's just how it's going down. So anyway, we're going to move into the what the fuck segment.
Nope. There's a segue for you. Yeah.
There's a whole lot of shit when we said,
what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Fuck?
So you started off.
I did, and you cut me the fuck off.
As you deserve
and
to be cut
like,
off.
What the fuck?
I'm like, can you read a note? Can you read a note?
Right
I'm like, can you read a note? You're busy playing with this plastic medallion and shit like that. It's all glowing all in his face. You know
Arts and crafts.
Arts and crafts time.
Where we go.
So you were talking about how your boy Donald Trump
Your
has been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize.
Yes. And you know, I'm not surprised that Donald Trump has been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize because of the fact some of the greatest war criminals in the history of the world have received the Nobel Peace Prize, including y'all second black president, Obama.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, fucking Nobel Peace Prize.
Henry Kissinger.
What's your boy name? Who we shared the fucking prize with? Can't even think of him out the gate. But just understand that him being nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize shows you what the United States is made of, and also what the fuck Alfred Nobel was made of.
And the ridiculousness of it is that he was nominated because they're saying that he helped bring a peace agreement between Israel and the United Arab Emirates.
Right.
And so basically, the Nobel Committee is saying that we are going to nominate you, or somebody is willing to have him nominated for trying to make a settler colonial state, Israel,
negotiate stolen land.
Stolen land, right? Yeah. Oppression of Palestinian people.
Right.
That it's in the interest of the Western world to normalize relations between Israel and other Arab states, and so therefore that is worthy of a Nobel Peace Prize, as opposed to condemning the war crimes that Israel commits every day against Palestinian people in the world.
But
so that's ridiculous.
They had to, because of the fact that it would be hypocritical if they didn't, because of the fact that you're talking about one stolen nation, one stolen land, trying to broker a peace deal with another fucking stolen land. Of course, I mean, it's like, what are they supposed to do? Do something righteous?
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's a fucking criminal settler state to another criminal settler state. That's how the fuck they get down. So, you know, fuck Israel, fuck the U.S., and anybody else don't like it. Fuck the Nobel Peace Prize,
you know what I'm
the
saying?
UN.
Oh, goddamn.
They just sent us that check. And fuck all you motherfuckers.
Oh, goddamn. You cashed the check already?
I did.
All right, fuck the UN, man. Fuck the UN, that's right. So, also up is like this weird thing that's happening in the world. So,
they canceled the Kardashians. That's a good thing.
Oh, that is a good thing. All right, good.
Yeah.
Oh, we all pleased by that.
Move right along.
No, damn, no, I didn't even know about that.
I just heard about it.
Yeah, you watch it every week. So in
Say
Ghana,
something.
a Chinese dude was raised up
A Chinese dude.
and made
That sounds racist.
made a chief.
A Chinese dude was made a chief?
And there's a picture circulating all around social media that this dude, he ain't got no shirt on.
Oh, yeah?
He's got a body like Kalonji, you know what I'm saying? It's like chains all over. But he's on the shoulders of Africans, lifting him up, carrying him around as like he's a godlike figure.
I wish they'd have called me. I would have helped carry his ass. I might not have saw him no fucking more. Be like, yo, where the Chinese dude go? Man, I think they cooked his ass over at Family Garden and shit in Bridgeport.
Let's not go crazy. Let's not go crazy.
I'm just saying.
All right, yeah.
Chinese food. But anyway.
But it speaks to something we was getting into is like how China has basically gone into Africa and propped itself up as the new colonial master in some ways, in which they've now offered these resources and loans, and some say at exorbitant rates in terms of the payback, in terms of what's owed to them. They've gotten access and ownership of land, of ports, farmland, for China. And when they do these things, they usually import Chinese workers. So they're not even necessarily providing jobs to folks who are local. They're importing their own population to get jobs, and then they can take them back and go apply to whatever skills that they got now back in China also. So it's not something that there's some projects that are helpful, of course, in terms of like development, but these are not projects that are always sort of well funded or thought out in terms of how they benefit the host nation.
Again, what the fuck do we expect from the Chinese? The Chinese, they find out what people want, and they take it, they manufacture it. They figure black folks, Africans, want to be oppressed. Why? Because of the fact that the continent had been carved up. You know what I'm saying? They took over, they separated, they segregated, and they said, look, well, you all need a new oppressor. Let us come on in and show you what the fuck you need to do. I mean, they sell everything from daishikis to red, black, and green flags, you know what I'm saying? And then turn around and oppress Africans in China and in Africa. You know what I mean? So they've kept their tradition. They're great at what they do. And I think the only problem that Donald Trump has with them is the fact that they're doing the same shit just in a different way, and it's just more Chinese people.
Well, I think the problem that Donald Trump has with them is that, I mean, and let me just.
I mean, he's getting suits made in China, but he's.
Well, I'm sure he does get that. Yeah. I mean, but China now is challenging the West in terms of imperial dominance around the world, right? So it was okay when China was the factory of the Western nations and countries, because what they basically did was take the workers from the United States, take all those jobs away, take them over to places like Mexico or China where the labor was cheaper. And now that China has said, you know what, we've built all we can do in terms of that economic layer, but now we want to be a power player, right? And so I don't have much of a problem with them being a power player. I do have a problem with them extorting resources out of African nation states that can be better spent in Africa, and putting those countries in debt the same way the IMF did and the World Bank did. So if they're not going to do it any better, if they're not going to be more supportive, they're not going to be an ally, then they need to get the fuck out of Africa.
Yeah, they're not going to do that, so we already know that they're going to do what they do. And we appreciate them at least pointing out who the fuck they are and being consistent with it. And to every African in Africa in Ghana who decided to lift this fat bastard up and make him a chief, you all should be ashamed of your goddamn self. You should go ahead and what they call it, commit
harikari.
Harikari. You should go ahead and just goddamn fall in.
Is that even Chinese? I think it's Japanese.
I don't fucking know. Either way, fuck it. You the one said it. I wouldn't even talk about it.
So yeah, let's go on.
Anyway, racist bastard.
So there's something else that happened. You was talking about a 7-year-old.
A 7-year-old? I was talking about someone in the 7th grade.
Oh, my bad.
He's 7 years old in 7th grade.
Why don't you use that as a segue, nigga? Just keep it moving.
Anyway.
Oh, damn, no.
He told me he didn't want to hear about the shit, so now I'm saying.
Here we go, though.
There's a case, and I forgot exactly, I believe it was in Colorado, 7th grader homeschooling, and he's playing with a Nerf gun, and his nice white teachers decided to go ahead and report him to authorities, and he was suspended or expelled for playing with a gun.
A Nerf gun?
In his own house.
In his own goddamn house. You know what I mean? So this is the America we live in, and we should be. It's outrageous, man. It's like we're trying to provide an alternative means of news and information, but it's so fucking hard because of the fact that y'all not giving us much to work with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we got to make some changes here. But anyway, the producer keeps pointing at me.
Bold question, son.
Did he just cut me off for a
Yeah, I think he did.
Question?
I mean, bold question is kind of important. Doctor.
Yes.
So what we have here is
a bowl of grits.
Cheap bowl that might have been made in China.
Definitely made in China.
That every week we have a guest on. When we have a guest, we have a bold question. We ask them to pick the question out and to read the question.
Yeah.
We constantly have to let folks know. So you are a real doctor.
Yeah.
This dude might have been birthed by a doctor, but that's as far as he's ever seen in terms of educational experience.
All right.
Doctor's
So
Chinese.
he ain't. So it's gonna be a little problem maybe reading, but do the best you can. So we want you to dig deep in.
Hopefully you have experience.
Pick any
in Braille.
question you want.
Okay.
As long as it's the one colored white. So there you go.
Really?
There you go. Pick. Go ahead.
Imagine that.
It's a choice.
Okay.
Oh, good. Oh, that's okay. Good one. All right.
She must be a doctor.
She is a doctor, yeah. Now, won't you read that?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Why do you care about black people?
Oh,
why do you care about black people?
All right,
who the fuck wrote that?
Somebody who obviously doesn't care about himself.
Why do you care about black people?
Okay, so when we come back from our break, we're going to have the doctor answer this question, not the ear doctor, but the real doctor, when we come back, Renegade Culture.
Hey, check it out. I rule the world like Curtis Blow with my afro blown out. I'm toned out the frame, drum style stagger like Ned the Wino. For black albinos, I'm like suicidal or vinyl. The type of antidote you had to keep away from minors. And I'm the bombers rhymer. Check my steeds, my vocals are like vaginas, wet in the seas when they open. My identities blows facilities. 2 enemies, please test these abilities. I'm rugged, plus pack a 24 studded. Carrot automatic 45 nigga slugger.
Yo, Renegade Culture, we back. You know what I'm saying? We ready to wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? We had another great show.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Dr. Winfrey is on. Again,
Winfrey.
she is running for the 3rd Congressional District in Alabama.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So before we go any further, before we get to the question, which I know you have a deep answer for, tell the folks how can they get in touch with you, if they can donate to your campaign, whatever you want, how can they reach out to you?
All right, so y'all can find me at winfrey4congress.com. That's Winfrey, the number 4congress.com. You can donate there. Definitely donate. If you want to volunteer, amplify the campaign, get the word out, go there. You can also find me on social media. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Dr. Dia. I'm also on Facebook. The campaign is at elect Dr. Dia 2020, I think. Just search Dr. Dia and it'll come up. Look, just search Winfrey for Congress and we all over the place.
She was doing good up until that point,
I
y'all.
was.
What's the name of that goddamn Facebook page again? It's too much.
Go to the website and hit that donate button. How about that?
True. That's good. That's good.
You ought to say that.
Is that good? Yeah.
That's real good.
Today.
We got Dr. Winfrey, no relation to Oprah. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, it is the same Winfrey. There's like literally like one Winfrey family.
Oprah.
Oh, word?
Oprah.
Oh, wait a minute. Winfrey's from Mississippi, though.
Yeah.
It's a big plantation.
It's the same Winfrey. This is my ex-husband.
You got a little donation? Little donation?
Nah.
Nah.
I wish. Oprah, if you watching, donate, sis. Come on.
Oprah.
Listen up, Oprah, please.
Stedman.
Everyone, you step aside, Stead. Yo, so we got this question. Can you read the question again? This fantastic, well thought out, deep, analytical question that was prepared by the ear doctor from Morris Brown University.
Morris Brown.
I don't think he actually graduated from
He was at the last class.
I did.
And
once again, African Studies degree.
God.
Thank you. Continue.
He got a GED in African Studies.
Is a certificate program? What you got?
So why do you care about black people? I care about black people because we are amazing. We have a wonderful heritage and history and a great legacy. And I care because we could do so much more. We could expand on that and just make everything great because everything we do is so dope. I'm just saying, we put sauce on everything. So I love black people.
Now, with you happen to be black, would that have any influence on the
I mean, I might be a little biased,
okay.
but facts is facts. Black people are dope. So.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, it was a good answer. The question was rather silly, but
I know it was like
cool.
he had time too. He got here early, so that's the best he could do.
Black, why you care about black people?
Black. She's elected official.
Yo, you got people
black.
that go out here, martyrs that die for the people, and it's like, why did you put yourself through this stuff for black people? What is it that gives you that drive?
I hate it when he tries to sound deep. I hate it. He tries to undercut us by using some bigger educational word.
It's just that Morris Brown.
He said, you have martyrs out here that work at McDonald's and they just want to know why you pour hot grease on the fries. Anyway, you listen to Renegade Culture where you can hear some of the deepest philosophies and thoughts and opinions of the great knocker, the ear doctor. You know what I'm saying? When he's not producing podcasts, you can catch him doing some dumb shit somewhere. So anyway, Dr.
We'll leave that alone. Yeah, I just wanted, before we go, I want to say, so October 3rd, 5 p.m. at CNN, we are doing another rally against state repression and violence. We want anybody who listens, who's in the area, to come on out. The last rally we did, we had some folks who showed up from Miami, and they were heavy listeners of Renegade Culture. In fact, they walked up on me going like, the R, the E, the N, the E. I was like, what?
I was on vacation getting calls like, Brother Kalanja, I thought you was going to be here. We over here with this other fool. I said, who?
Is that what you think that happened?
I said, who? They said this other fool. I said, oh, the other cat, the co-host.
He didn't even got to enter his story.
But anyway, it's a
bad story.
But anyway, I will be there October 3rd supporting.
True.
You know what I mean? We're going to burn it down. You know, start a rebellion. You know what I mean? Take it back to where we come from.
Bam. You know what I'm saying?
Also, interns. We are now looking for interns for Renegade Culture. We're accepting interns. So if you want to get down, no matter where you are in the world, we'll send you some nice goods and everything. Help push this shit. I keep hearing all these folks coming out with these new podcast networks and all that, and that's great, you know what I'm saying? But we will not be compromising our position. We don't give a fuck who you are, where you come from, none of that shit. We're going to give it to the people the way we need to give it to them. So definitely interns, show your love, Renegades. Appreciate you. Shout out to my man over here on the board.
Quez.
My man Quez.
True,
making another special guest appearance.
Bam.
You know what I mean? Always supporting it. My man on the camera over here.
SP.
SP in the building.
SP.
You know what I mean? Always keeping that work in. Jai.
Yo.
Always getting that work done. You know what I'm saying? We got my little man, Young Loose is in the building.
Young Loose.
And we got the ear doctor knocking shit down.
Stumbling over shit.
Okay.
You know what I'm
you
saying?
been drinking, brother? Anyway, we listen to Renegade Culture. Definitely go out, vote for Dr. Adia Winfrey. If you're in the Alabama area, all our folks who are in Alabama, even if she's not, she doesn't represent your district, don't trip. She'll set you in the right direction with folks who are in your district. So we appreciate you coming on, sis.
Thank you so much, sis.
Appreciate y'all.
And we're looking forward to that, to coming out to that celebration.
Absolutely, no doubt. Yeah. The woo.
Okay,
all right.
Minister Server in the
Minister
building.
Server screaming from the background.
Yeah, screaming like, y'all forgot me.
Look, you ain't co-hosting this week. Just keep it quiet over there, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
The
Y'all both in the Wilberforce?
Yes.
Okay. So Server really did go to Wilberforce.
He did. Yeah.
Here we go.
See you.
Yo, on that note, Renegade Culture, we out of here. Bam.
Black out.
All right.